key is to start out as early as possible.
So what do you think are the acceptable rates for a beginner to start out?
I was on a platform called ProBlogger, where you'll find a lot of international clients, and they were willing to pay me 5 cents per word. 5 cents per word means 3.75 rupees per word. So for a 1,500 word article, you would get paid around 5,600 rupees.
Hi, how are you doing? Hi guys, welcome back to Journeyteaches. Today it's a very special video and we have Winnie with us. Say hi.
Hi.
And we are at the Cubbon Park and it's 7 a.m. in the morning and we're not at all sleepy, are we?
I don't know, I might be a little bit.
Yeah. So here we are and we are going to talk about her experience as a content writer and freelancer for helping various beginners and aspiring freelancers. So let's start with the very first question. Tell us something about your background. What did you study and how did you actually start freelancing?
Okay, so I began freelancing in 2018, which was 4 years ago when I was in college. And like any other college student, I wanted to make some pocket money and I started looking for freelancing jobs. And I came to know that my friend has worked as a content writer for an Indian website owner. So I asked him whether I could try my hand at writing and he referred me to the Indian blogger. And I was asked to write a test article. He reviewed the article and I got the job. So that was the start of my content writing journey.
It's amazing how you did not stop yourself from working when you were studying also. Most of the people, they wait for getting a job and then start working.
Yeah.
It's so good for your experience and your exposure also.
I also think the key is to start out as early as possible because it's okay to make mistakes and it's always better to learn from the mistakes as early as possible in your career. So if you wait to start something out, you'll know how you can improve only after so long. So it's always better to start out as early as possible.
Early movers advantage.
Yeah.
So what all niches did you start in?
So from the beginning, I used to write about almost everything under the sun. So be it technology, healthcare, lifestyle, product reviews, and even scammy product reviews. Because I was super stoked that I got the job and I started writing like a robot, like articles after articles after articles. So it only made sense that I try out different niches and to figure out which niche I enjoy the most.
Do you also think that selecting a micro niche is very important in the start?
I wouldn't say you have to select a micro niche when you start your freelancing journey unless you have a deep understanding about a particular topic. So if you are a tech enthusiast, you have a basic understanding about the tech field, it only makes sense that you apply for tech websites as a content writer. For me, in the beginning I used to write about everything and eventually I learned that I enjoy writing about travel and I don't enjoy writing about gardening and lifestyle. So I started applying for more travel related content jobs.
Makes sense. It's very important to experiment with all of the niches in the very beginning and eventually you figure out your own niche.
Yeah, after I think 1 to 2 years, I got this audiology job. So it made sense to micro niche because I'm an audiologist and it is relatively easy for me to write about audiology. So I began working for the audiology website primarily, which I will come to later in this video.
Great. So what do you think are the acceptable rates for a beginner to start out?
I'm not sure what rates are acceptable or not. It depends on the blogger and depends on the writer. For me, while I was starting out, I was paid 30 paise per word.
Were you paid or did you charge?
I was paid because I had no idea about the market rates and I was kind of scared as well. So when they told me they're gonna charge me 30 paise per word, I was okay, cool. I was very happy with it, to be honest. It means 1,500 word would get me 450 rupees. So if I write 20 articles, I'll get 9,000 per month. And after 6-7 months, I asked for a raise, which is 10 paise per word raise.
It's still less, I guess.
I know it's still very low, but At that time, it sounded like a good deal to me for some reason. So I worked for 40 paise per word for a few months.
So do you think with the kind of exposure you continue working and with the kind of experience you get, the rates eventually increase in the future?
Definitely. I think if you are confident in your skill, you can definitely charge them more. For me, like I said, I increased the rates by 10 paise per word, which is very low. But then I stopped working for the Indian blogger because I was exhausted from writing so much and I got busy with the college work. My next gig was an international client. So obviously my rates went up. And not just a skill, the rate also depends on the client. And that's where the role of international clients come in.
So how did you find international clients, and what according to your experience is the easiest platform to find such freelancing gigs?
Yeah, so after I stopped writing for the Indian blogger, the next content writing job I applied for was for an international client. I was on a platform called Pro Blogger, where you'll find a lot of international clients. My friend suggested me this, and I went on Pro Blogger, applied for 10 jobs straight, gave them my Indian writing samples, but I did not get a reply from anyone. So I was completely disappointed and stopped applying for international jobs. But like after 4-5 months, I see this mail from one person offering me 1 cent per word. So this is where the US dollar and cent come in. 1 cent was around 75 paise per word. So from 40 paise to 75 paise, it was actually a good deal. But somehow I missed the mail. That is another story. But I did not get the job. And then I went back and applied for 4-5 other jobs, and this time I did not give them Indian writing samples. When I submitted the application form, I wrote the answers based on their needs and requirements, and I ended up getting 2 jobs. One of them offered me 2 cents per word, which is around 1.5 rupees per word, and the other one offered me 4 cents per word, which is around 3 rupees per word.
So that is really great. You actually went from just 40 paisa per word to rupees 3 per word.
I know.
And getting that kind of exposure, working with the international clients is just the next level.
It is definitely, because it has been a total game changer for me ever since I started working for international clients.
And point to be noted here, she sent customized samples to the international clients according to their specialized needs. So we need to learn this.
Exactly.
So what do you think? Is it difficult to find international clients or not?
I think it can get a bit difficult to find international clients because you should know how to write for the American audience. So while starting out, even I did not know how to do this. But with experience in research, I learned how to write for the American audience. And I'm just talking about the writing style and the language. An American blogger has no problem hiring Indian writers as long as they can write for the American audience.
So basically, they just want you to write according to their needs, and you just have to convince them accordingly.
Yeah, so you should be able to write for the targeted audience. So to answer your question, I wouldn't say it is extremely difficult, but it can get a bit difficult. But as long as you know how to write for the targeted audience, getting content writing gigs is very simple. I worked for the 3 rupees per word job for quite a few months until I saw this job posting on ProBlogger that said audiology writers needed. So I'm an audiologist by profession, and I was like surprised to see the job posting because I've never thought about writing for an audiology website. So I immediately applied. It was an international client. I immediately applied, and I told them that I'm an audiologist. I have this much experience in this field, and they hired me right away because they were so happy to find an audiologist as a writer, and the writing part would be easy because I know the field, and they were willing to pay me 5 cents per word, which is again a raise from 3 rupees per word. 5 cents per word means 3.75 rupees per word. So for a 1,500 word article, you would get paid around 5,600 rupees. I'm not saying that it's easy because I've struggled to finish 4 articles a week, and writing can really burn us out. But I'm trying to tell you the potential of being a content writer and working for international clients or whichever clients that pay well. So I have had a great time working with the audiology client.
That's really amazing, how you have that kind of experience with yourself. And it's very important for us to know the potential of what we are doing. As you said, there's a great potential alone in content writing. So, and the content writers can take the most out of it, and they should as well. So,
Yeah, I also think freelancing is a pretty great thing because you don't have to worry about losing your full-time job if you have one, or if you feel like freelancing is a bit risky, you do not know for sure whether you can make this much money a week or a month, but you can always do it part-time. You can just try applying for international clients, and if you get one, you can just work 1 hour per day, 2 hours per day, and it could be a side income. So I think that is the best part of being a freelance writer or whatever freelance job.
and it comes with a lot of freedom and respect at the
does.
same time.
Yeah.
So, are you still working as an audiologist content writer?
So currently I'm not working as a content writer because I'm taking a break and working on a few other things. But the last client I worked for was the audiology client who paid me 5 cents per word. And while I was planning to quit, I thought of asking for yet another raise, like just to see if they'll accept. So I asked them for a 2 cents raise. So my pay would be 7 cents per word. And they happily agreed. They're like, okay, we can pay you 7 cents per word. And that's when I understood that good writers are hard to find. But there's another thing, 5 cents per word is actually kind of a basic pay for good writers in the US. So if you can write according to their needs, write for the American audience, 5 cents per word is actually a basic pay in the US. For us, it's a big deal, but 7 cents per word is also a basic pay for someone who writes in a specialized niche. That's the potential of international clients.
So, what we learn from this is do not ever hesitate to ask for your worth, what you deserve, and according to your specialization.
Yeah. And also, I'm not saying that you should go and charge 3 rupees, 4 rupees for Indian bloggers because it doesn't make sense. Indian blogger wouldn't be able to pay you like 3, 4 rupees. It's not common here. In America, 5 cents is the basic pay, which is 3 rupees in India. So you need to understand that, if you're getting paid 50 paisa or 1 rupee or 2 rupee in India, that is also really good. So you need to understand your client, your potential, and charge accordingly.
Yeah. Rates always vary according to the client, according to your experience, according to the industry as well. So it's very subjective always.
Right.
So are there any specific points that you would like to share with us in order to crack international clients?
So, like I said, the first point would be to understand the targeted audience. Just try to understand their language, writing style. If you can write for the targeted audience, chances are you're most likely to get the job. So the second advice would be to personalize your application form. Understand the blogger's needs and preferences. Some job listings might have their website, the owner's website. So go through the website, understand how the articles are, and tweak your application answers a bit to match your client's needs and preferences. Yeah, that's about it. And also, I think rather than applying for 10 job listings in a go, just filter the job listings, like select 3 to 5 jobs which seem the most appropriate to you, which match your skills or your experience, and just focus on those job listings. And another most important thing is to make your application form as grammar mistake free as possible. Like try to avoid grammatical errors and use concise, straightforward, easy to understand sentences.
Right, these are some really important pointers to keep in mind while you apply for some jobs. That would really help. So what would be the last piece of advice that you would like to share with the aspiring and beginner freelancers watching the video?
I want to tell the aspiring content writers that if you can produce high quality articles and write according to your client's needs and preferences, you can definitely be successful, not just in India, but in the global markets as well. So nowadays, I see people thinking, oh, everybody is a content writer now. The market is flooded with good writers. It is highly competitive. But the truth is, good writers are incredibly difficult to find. I know this because I've seen the other side as well. I've worked as an editor for quite a few months. And it has shocked me that 70% of the writers don't even follow the basic instructions we give. That is why I'm stressing that good writers and intelligent writers who can follow instructions, follow basic instructions, and incorporate those instructions in their writing, those kind of people are difficult to find. So all I want to tell the aspiring content writers to keep trying, to keep improving your skill. Just keep this in mind. If you can write well, editors will throw money at you, because that's how hard it is to get good writers.
An absolute amazing ending to our conversation, and these pointers would be really helpful, which include like self-improvement methods,
Yeah.
and also working according to the industry needs.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Vinny, for coming here. It was wonderful talking to you.
Yeah.
You shared some really amazing insights for the freelancers. It was an absolute honor to hear you out, and thank you so much for your time.
I absolutely enjoyed this conversation, Kirti. Thank you for having me. And I hope the people who are watching this could learn a thing or two from this video.
Definitely. So how did you find this interview? How did you like me as a host?
You are an amazing host. You have made me feel really comfortable, which is why I could share everything without, the fear of being judged. You're an amazing host. Thank you so much for having me.